Ladies and triples, Andy here, day 213 of the Inner Winner Show. I'm joined by Imogen, who's awkwardly off on the side. And if you're listening to this as a podcast, it's also available as a YouTube video. So you can see me awkwardly ignoring my girlfriend, who's off camera.
Yeah. Out
Hi.
of curiosity, what's a triple?
A triple?
I understand. that
It
it's
means
like,
three. So three. So it's more than a double. A double is two.
I know, but what are you referring to?
So the triple is from one of my lovely gentlemen in the Winners Club, my private accountability group.
Mm-hmm.
My boy had a threesome. My boy had his first threesome. And this is something that he's been planning for quite a while. He's been trying to work up to make it happen. And he finally sorted his shit out. And he got two girls that are both bisexual, or one had already had threesomes and I think the other one hadn't. And he just did all the stuff that I recommend in the threesome guide where it says, you know, you just ask them, like, have you ever fooled around with a girl before or thought about it? He did that. Invited them both over for a glass of wine, and the rest is history. And he posted in the group last night and he said, he didn't say anything. He didn't say, like, I've had a threesome or anything. He literally just said, I can die a happy man now.
Cute.
So good job to him. Super fucking happy for him. Everyone else in the group is like super happy for him as well. A couple of the other members are like, God damn it, like I got to hurry up and catch up. And one of them in particular said, like, we should make everyone in the group, like we'll make it like that club, like the threesome club. So yeah, good job. Shout outs to him. So it's not that hard to have a threesome. It's really just like what I say in the threesome guide, like just find two girls. Like it's not hard for you and I to have threesomes, is it? Hasn't been that hard.
No, not after we kind of figured out what we're doing.
Yeah. And you get the benefits of like me figuring it out and you figuring it out. Like other people get the benefits because we've like put it in that guide.
Mm-hmm. So I was going to say if people...
Don't you fuck...
Okay.
Mario, can you fucking kill that bitch? Because she interrupted me. Everyone listening to the podcast is going to have no idea what I'm talking about with Mario. So that's why you guys should be watching on YouTube so you can see like this guy kill my girlfriend.
Where did we get Mario from? Where did you get Mario from?
Where did I get this beautiful man, this beautiful Italian plumber man? Where did I get him from?
Opposed to it?
I got him from a hardware store.
Incorrect. That is a lie.
No, it's not. I got this Mario from a hardware store. So what are we going to talk about today? We're going to talk about... I got it from a bin, okay? You happy? Now that people know that I went fucking diving in a bin. Yeah. Radical's going to be very happy because he told me forever that I have to go dumpster diving at some point. So this counts. I found Mario in a bin. This counts as dumpster diving. I never have to do it again, Radical. I hope you're happy. I live and breathe and die for your approval. So thank you. So we're going to talk about today.
So before you go ahead,
you interrupted me again twice.
Well, the first time that I was going to say something was to ask if any listeners would like to be a part of the...
There's no listeners now because you fucking
club.
Put them all... Why would they be part of this podcast after you've just abused me twice on air? Do any of the listeners want to what?
If they want to be part of the Winners Club?
They can't be part of my club. I don't want them in the Winners Club. I don't want anyone listening in the Winners Club. It's exclusive. It's only for cool people.
Okay.
That's a special sales technique right there where you insult your audience and tell them that they can't join and then it will make them... It's like a neg.
Yeah, I was just fair. It's
negging. Yeah, straight up neg. So then they'll want to join more. So if you want to join, you're welcome to join. Send me an email. I'll leave a link in the show notes below to where you can actually join there. Anyway. So, we are going to talk about what is one thing you wished... We're going to ask just a bunch of questions today. This is just going to be like a very silly, fun podcast. In case you couldn't tell. Like, it's been very serious so far. But we'll answer a bunch of questions, or we'll ask a bunch of questions. And the first one is, I'm asking it to you, and then you're asking it to me, or I'll ask it to myself. What is one thing you wished you knew when you first got started with self-improvement? How to get pussy.
Yeah. I think be more accepting of failure.
Yeah, because you had a perfectionist. You had so much ego. I had to do the whole ego talk with you early on, I remember. Where I was like, you're arrogant as shit. Like, how? And you, like, cried.
Yeah. Particularly I think when like I did succeed at first with specifically referring to my weight loss, and then I gained it all back and had a crisis for about a year and a half.
Yeah, because so for context, you have an eating disorder.
Yeah.
Or you're working through an eating disorder, so that does complicate things a bit.
Yeah, of course. At least has every specialist has
Binge
said.
eating. So,
yeah.
And bulimia.
So I think just telling myself that like almost preemptively like it's okay if you need to try a few things a couple of times. You'll get there eventually. Everything will be okay.
And maybe another way of phrasing that would be, it's okay. You have unlimited tries.
Yeah, because I think when I first started, I guess failing or going backwards, I think part of the reason it took so long to get back on track again was because I was convinced that if I started failing, there was no recovering from that.
And that's very much like a binge eating mindset, like an addiction mindset. Like you're going to spiral out of control. You're going to... So for you, binge eating and bulimia is like an addiction, basically. So it's like you're slipping into like alcoholism or something. And I'm sure a lot of like alcoholics and anyone with an addiction knows exactly what that feeling of like, shit, I'm slipping, I'm spiraling, I can't stop. Like,
and it reinforces like, I can never change this is hopeless.
And that's just your addiction talking.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
But I think preempting that probably would have been helpful.
I did tell you all that at the time, but obviously me saying something is not the same as you experiencing it and living through it.
Yeah, of course. And probably even like future me saying that to past me.
Oh, you wouldn't have fucking listened to Costner.
Yeah.
So many things I could go back and tell my past self, and then the past self, with all this humility, I'm joking, with all this arrogance, would have said, I'm not listening to you, boomer. You're in your 30s. Why would I listen to you? Like, I'm sure there's a ton of people that don't connect with my stuff. Anyone's stuff, I shouldn't just say me. Like, they'll read a self-improvement forum, or they'll go on to like a blog, or they'll read, some guy like me who's put it all out there and said like, look, here's proof of my lays. Just do what I do and it should work for you. Go try it. They'll read that and they'll be like, no, I know what I'm doing. Like, you get that sometimes. Someone will come on the forums and just not follow through the advice. It was Radical who said if he could give something to newbies, like give a gift to every newbie, it would be the gift of humility. I think we all have that. It's like an ego. It is an ego. It's like a protection mechanism where you don't want to admit you don't know what the fuck you're doing. And so you keep doing what you're doing. You certainly did it with your binge eating and stuff like that. I've done it with 5 million things in the past. I've done it with alcoholism for sure. Where you don't want to admit that, like, okay, I'm a shitty, flawed human. I don't know how to fix this, or I don't know how to work on this. I don't know what I'm doing here. I don't know how to achieve my goals. Can you just tell me and I'll do it? It's almost like you have to be a little rebel for a while, or a lot of people have to be a little rebel for a while. Try and do it themselves, completely fuck it up, of course, and then come back and say, okay. I didn't follow your advice. I tried my own way. I tried for 6 months. It didn't work. Can you please just tell me what to do and I'll do it?
Yeah. So with all that being said, if you were to be very arrogant, what piece of advice would you give yourself?
As in me back to my past self? That's kind of not what the question is, though. The question is like, what's one thing you wished you knew when you first got started with self-improvement?
Okay, well, what's one thing you wish you knew then?
How to get pussy. Is that not a cheat? I mean, that you left room for that in this question, even though I wrote this question.
Yeah.
I could just say one thing I wished I knew, how to do everything I can do right now.
Great. What a helpful and satisfying answer to all of your listeners.
Yeah, I know. And everyone could call me out on that and say, dickhead, it says what's one thing, not everything. Fucking spastic, you ginger freak. That's disrespectful, and that's also racist, and I won't stand for that.
Because you're
ginger hate.
Horribly secure about being ginger, aren't you?
Insecure?
Yeah.
We could talk about that. Why not? I told you I used to get bullied for that in high school, and it was like the dumbest fucking thing to get bullied for, because it like didn't bother me, and like because it just seemed so arbitrary. I think I was like cynical from fucking 12 years old, right? I think I was just born cynical.
Little edgy teen.
Yeah, I was an edgy teen. I'm still one now, and so like they would like make all these insults like Carrot Top, and I'd be like, Carrot Top's a green, you fucking 4 IQ retard. Like, and there'd be other people that'd be like,
well, I think they're referring to the fact that the top of your head is carrot colored.
It's like the
So
dumbest
your
insult
top
ever.
is carrot. Yes, I understand.
And then that, like, some other people, like, there was this, like, bunch of kids that for, like, 6 months would constantly say, like, what color are your pubes? What color are your pubes? What color are your pubes? And every single time I'd be like, they're red. And, like, they'd be like, ha, he's got red pubes. And I'd be like, my hair is red. What the fuck color do you think they are? Like, it was just and it was like they were trying to, like, bully me or tease me. And I was like, we're both on the same page here. We both know I have red pubes. Like, this isn't, I don't know why you think that I'm insecure about this. Like, are you insecure about this? Like, there were just so many, like, weird ginger comments. And I was like, what? Why? Like, we all know I'm ginger. This isn't something that I can hide. It's like a weird form of racism, but, like, not quite racism. It was like they thought that they were, like, detectives that had uncovered, like, some huge truth, like a global conspiracy of gingers hiding the fact that their pubes are ginger as well.
I don't think it's that. I think they just enjoy, like, pointing out, like, you're different to me.
And I was like, yeah, but we're on the same page. I know I'm different. Like, we're on the same page here. It's like the weirdest, like, lack of bullying. Like, if you're gonna bully me about something I'm insecure about, not like.
Well, to be fair, they don't know what you are and are not insecure
Then
about.
when you clearly determine that the person isn't insecure about that, like, they literally don't care. Like, they're almost bored of.
Okay, well,
Like, it got to a point where it's just almost boring, and I'd, like, basically ignore it because, like, what are we doing here? Like, this is just, are we just going around in circles? We're going to say the same thing. Can you not come up with new material?
Well,
At that
obviously,
point, don't you come up with a new insult? Like,
kids weren't very good at reading social cues.
yeah, I know. Like, fucking just retarded.
As is with most children.
Yeah, I know,
so.
I know. And to be fair, it was mostly, like, there were, like, 3 kids that did it. And then a bunch of other people would kind of, like, I say a bunch, like, maybe 5 others would every now and then do it. And I'd just be like, yeah, they're ginger. Like, and then there was a point where everyone called me, like, it was like ginger nuts, Fanta pants. I really liked that. I liked that so much. And I was like, I actually genuinely like that. Like, I would like you to call me Fanta Pants as the nickname. Like, I really like that. I hope everyone knows what Fanta is. I hope it's like a universal drink. It's like an orange soda, as you call it in America. Pretty sure every country has Fanta.
Yeah, or sun-kissed.
And so I was like, I really like that. And then someone else called me Red Nuts, Blood Nuts. I got that as well.
Blood nuts.
I really liked that. Blood Nuts and Fanta Pants.
Blood nuts sounds like
No, I like that.
a bit violent.
So, what's one thing I wished I knew when I was first got started with self-improvement? I guess I can answer this question seriously after procrastinating for 14 minutes.
Good job.
I've said this on a previous podcast. I wish I knew that everything would be okay, but a better way of framing that is I wish I knew that I would eventually make it. Like, I wish I knew the one thing that I put in almost every one of my articles, which is don't fucking quit. Success is literally inevitable if you just don't quit. I wish I knew that because I wasn't sure. I didn't think that I could make it. I knew I wasn't going to quit. Like, I knew that wasn't an option, but I still thought, like, yeah, but I could just keep doing this until I'm 80 and then I'll die before I actually achieve it. That's kind of what I thought would happen. I wish someone had said to me, like, dude, be more realistic. You're 28 now. If you do this until you're 80, you know, that's like 50 fucking years. I think you're going to be successful in 50 years. Like, I think anyone can achieve anything if they put their mind to it for 50 years. So I wish I'd known that you have a ridiculous amount of time. If you dedicate yourself to it and you're obsessed and you don't quit, you will guaranteed make it. Like, every single person listening to this, and it's hilarious. How many times do I say to you, like, people just have doubts and insecurities and they think like, oh, I'm special. I'm not going to make it. Everyone else can make it, but not me. It's like, God damn it. Like, literally everyone can make it. It's so boring at this point how many people think that they can't make it, and then you do a bit of coaching with them and it's like, of course you can make it, you fucking retard. And then they go on to make it and they're like, wow, I never would have guessed. And it's like, yeah, like you and 100 other people, myself included.
Okay.
It is like boring at this point, like how many people think that they're the exception. And they always have a reason for it too. There's always like a big reason, and it's like, why does that even matter? Like, that reason just doesn't matter. You just think it does. It's like, and they'll be like, but have you ever coached anyone who's gone through this? And I'm like, no, but why the fuck does that matter? Let's fix it. And then you fix it and they're like, wow, like I never would have thought. I thought me being suicidal meant that I couldn't fix my life. And it's like, why the fuck would that make a difference? Like, why is that even a thing? Suicidal, we'll work on that. We'll fix it.
Yeah, I think we've talked about this before, but it's like a form of arrogance. And it's not like, I'm not like accusing anybody. Like, I think everybody has it because you're the one that's in your head 100% of the time thinking about your own problems. It's that, like, I'm more fucked up than anyone else. I can't, like...
I have it worse than anybody else.
Yeah, because you're the one living through it. You're not living anybody else's pain. So yeah.
Okay. Next question. With the world's best segue of, okay. Next question. What are your top 3 sex techniques? Because we watched a video. I don't know if we've talked about this on a podcast, have we? We watched a video of a woman who's like, her channel is all about sex, and it's like sex.
Techniques, so like her favorite sex acts.
Yeah, fine. She's talking about her 5 favorite sex acts, and we're like, okay, what do we got here? Like, this should be good. I can't remember if we've talked about this on a podcast. I hope we haven't. If we have, whatever.
I would give $1 million to anyone who guessed them all.
Yeah, if you could guess all 5, if you could guess 2 of them, I'd be very impressed. Because none of them are sex. Right? Like, the first one was kissing.
Sure.
The second one was cuddling. And I'm pretty sure cuddling is like a platonic or a romantic or a love thing. Like, a familial thing as well.
Yeah.
Like, your mum cuddles you. Pretty sure that's not sex. I don't think that's sex. I think she's gotten confused. And then what were the other ones? They were so like obscure that I've forgotten. It was like undressing. I don't think that's sex, sweetheart. I think it's just like having a shower. You got to do that before you have your shower, sweetie. Like, you're going outside, you got to undress, get changed.
Sure, it can be sensual, it could be foreplay, but it's not a sex act.
Yeah, she like specifically hit us with like I thought my dick was getting like, I was semi-chub. I was thinking like, here we go. We're going to hear some sex. I've been hearing about that sex thing for a long time. I want to hear what the sex is.
I think one was like breathing as well. Did I make that
There's
up?
like fucking retarded ones. I'm pretty sure you're right. It was something stupid like that.
Really
It was something like that. It was like listening to their breath or something like that. And I was like, sweetie, no, that's like what a serial killer does. Like, you're getting confused here now. This is not a sex. Like, you've had a brain aneurysm or you've had a stroke or something, and you're not sure like where you are. Maybe it's like early onset dementia, age 30. Like, it's kicking in real early. Apologies to anyone who knows anyone who has dementia. That's a horrible fucking disease. So what are your top 3 sex techniques? After all that context. And they have to actually be sex. It can't be like touching each other's fingernails against one another.
Fair enough.
It can't be like scratching each other's backs if you have an itch. That's not sex.
Sure.
So go, top 3 sex. You do one, then I'll do one.
Okay, I'd say one that feels really, really good is basically the action you do to make a girl squirt.
Making a bitch squirt.
You pretty much get 2 fingers and then put them in and point upwards.
Like this, boys, like this. We should do a video on this at some point. And then you just, it's so hard to do it like this. And then you go like this, really fucking like, it's like you're making like that motion, like come here. But you do it like real. If you're listening to the podcast, this is gonna make no fucking sense. Go on the YouTube video and watch this, and like you just do that motion, but like as fast as you can. It's hard like with my shoulder up here, but you normally have your shoulder down there. We'll do a video on this at some point, and I'll show like the actual.
Yeah, basically what you're doing, you get like your pointer and middle finger, and you like curl them upwards. Fingers. Alternatively, you can kind of just angle your hand so it points, I guess, to the roof.
Or you can use a sex toy
and just go in and out really fast.
You can use a sex toy. It's like a curved toy. We'll get it in a second. We'll do another video on this at some point. We'll show you the toy and stuff like that. So that's your first technique?
But yeah, learn how to do that. I've never met
That's not a technique for you though, but I guess
that doesn't
fine.
like it. Why is it not?
We're supposed to be like what you do to...
I've done it on other girls.
You've never made a girl squirt?
Yes, I have.
When? Don't fucking lie on air.
The last one that we saw.
On national television.
The last one that we saw.
You didn't make her squirt.
Yeah,
I did.
We both did.
How did you do that? When?
When we had sex with her. What do you mean when?
Name the exact time. Otherwise I know you're lying. Down to the nearest second or I know you're full of shit. This did not happen. So anyway, You're telling lies to daddy on national TV. Mm-hmm. The Kremlin is watching. I wish that like Soviet Union video. So now I'm just going to say like fucking Soviet Union terms all day.
I don't know what.
KGB. So my first sex technique would be, I got to say choking, honestly. Like putting your hand around a girl's neck. Obviously, if you've never done it before, be very freaking gentle. Don't squeeze. Just kind of like have your hand around her throat. Don't squeeze hard if you don't know what you're doing. Just have your hand there. And you can just kind of like hold. Again, if you're listening to the podcast, this isn't going to make sense.
Don't put pressure on the front.
Don't put pressure. Just hold your hand there.
Do it on the sides.
Girls absolutely go crazy for that. Mm-hmm. I guess we can say context matters. Don't just, if you've never done anything rough with a girl ever and you have no idea what you're doing, just start really gentle. Just like when you're passionate, I'd say you can just rest your hand there. Like pretty much every girl's going to be fine if you just rest it there. Don't like grab her around the throat. Just sort of rest your hand there and see how she reacts to that. Most girls will be like, oh, that's hot. And they go from there. So that's mine. What's your number 2?
I'm trying to think now, actually. I don't know.
Overthrowing communism is probably your number 2.
That's a big one.
That's a good sex technique. So what's your number 2?
I've drawn a blank.
You got to do one that you like to do.
That I like to do.
Either to men or to women, doesn't matter. To other, actually, let's just do ones that you do to girls. You like kissing girls, but that's already been taken by the other one.
Yeah,
that's not sex.
I feel like that's not a technique. I just really enjoy.
Yeah, well, it doesn't have to be technique. Just something you like doing.
I think when, like, I guess a guy or another girl, but particularly another girl, is like going down on me, particularly because we play into that like domination aspect.
Mm-hmm.
I really like grabbing her hair and like grinding a little bit.
Grabbing her hair and what? Like rubbing your pussy on her face?
Yeah.
You whore.
I think because it conveys that like I'm really enjoying that to the other girl.
Yeah.
And then obviously they're deriving pleasure from giving that to you. Particularly, you know, if you're into that dynamic of like, you know, she's wanting to please you, she wants to be good for you. I think at least all of the girls that we've done seem to enjoy that.
Yeah, they go crazy for that. So you're talking about when they're going down on you, basically. You put your hand through their hair and like pull them into your pussy. And guys, you guys can do the same shit. Like if a girl is giving you a blowjob, just grab her hair. Don't fucking grab like a little bit of her hair. Just put your hand in, like all of her hair, or grab if she has like a ponytail. Like grab the back of her hair. The more hair you hold, the less it hurts, right? Like obviously because you're distributing the force across more hair. So grab a bunch of hair. Don't just grab like a couple of strands or something. Grab her hair and use that to like push her onto your cock. Does that make sense? Like you don't have to be super rough with it, but just like putting pressure on, like pull. It's like you're pulling her onto your cock. You're saying like, this feels so goddamn good. I want you to like keep doing it.
Yeah. Personally, I really like when I would have my hair in like pigtails.
Yeah.
That's
and I
very
grab
big
like the
turn on for me.
pigtails while you're giving a blowjob. Yeah, for sure. So my turn for number 2. I want to say spanking, but like, okay, picking a girl up and bouncing around my cock.
Sure.
So you don't have to be super strong to do that. It like, maybe I'll do a video on that as well at some point. We'll just do it like fully dressed, and I'll show how to like pick you up. Like, because there is like somewhat of a if you're super strong, you don't even have to worry about technique. You can just pick her up. So basically, get her to sit on you, cowgirl. So she's like facing you. And then you it's easier on the side of the bed.
And then just stand up.
If she straddles you, and then you just stand up. So like, make sure you're holding her. Get her to like wrap her legs around your body, and then you just stand up.
Yeah, like hold
and then you can kind of grab
back.
her and like move her up and down, or you can kind of like thrust your hips while holding her. And because we have like, you can't see it in the background, but we have like 2 big mirrors in this room, and it's so much fun to be like doing that to a girl. I do it to you sometimes. I do it to other girls that we see, where like you do that, and then you make them look in the mirror. And you say, look how fucking hot you do. Sorry, look how fucking hot you are. And like, you give a ton of compliments because like, you know, it's very sexy for you, as in you as a female, to see how sexy you look, or to see how much you're turning me on. Or for me to say like, look how fucking hot you are. You look so fucking hot. Like that's a big turn on. Like being desired as a woman is a huge turn on. Okay, we got 5 minutes left before the video cuts out.
Okay.
You got 1 technique left.
Speed round. I'm gonna
Speed run.
Go off what you said before. Like I guess playing with like having sex basically in front of a mirror, and you both like either looking into each other's eyes or looking at each other's bodies. I think that is quite erotic.
Like masturbating.
Yeah, particularly if it's like slow
sure.
and sensual. I find
if you both get off and like come at the same time, that's hot as hell.
Is that your one?
No, that's yours.
I said in front of a mirror.
It's pretty much the same. You can say it's the same thing if you're like doing it in front of the mirror, or like looking at each other, like directly facing each other. Making a girl orgasm. Honestly, that's got to be like, no. In the context of edging. So it's easiest with the magic wand. like the big vibrator thing. We should have like the toys out if we're gonna like do this where we talk about them. I mean, they're like over there, but I can't be bothered going and getting them.
Keep it in mind for next time.
Like the big magic wand vibrator that I have.
Mm-hmm.
I'll leave a link in the show notes below to like which one I'm talking about. I've written like articles on how to use it and shit. But like putting it on your pussy or her pussy, and right when you're about to come, you take it away.
Mm-hmm.
And then, you know, you're obviously like, please, 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 please. You get very desperate and like, please, please, please. It's like hot as hell having a girl like beg. It's the hottest shit ever. And then you put it back again, so she's getting closer and closer. And then when she's right about to come again, when she's like, okay, I'm going to come, you'd like take it away. And she's like, no, 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 no. You especially, you fucking like, every time I do that, you get so needy. It's like really, really hot. You're like basically begging. You're like almost crying in a good way. You're like, no, please. You keep doing that. We've done that like 15 times in a row, like on, off, on, off, on, off,
Same
like
applies
15
to, like,
times.
guys or girls though. Like it feels very good for both
Yeah, for sure.
parties.
Yeah, if you can get a girl, you've done that to me quite a few times. If you teach a girl how to do it, like just do it on her, and then later you can say, just do the same shit to me. Mm-hmm. Like if she's giving you a hand job or something and she stops right when you're really close and then waits like 10 seconds and then keeps going, that's just like you're in another world at that point. Like, and I know you love it for the same reason. Girls that we've done it on love it for the same reason. It's like you just forget about everything except like, holy shit, I need to come. Mm-hmm. And like it feels like you're in that space for eternity. Like you're just waiting to orgasm. It's fucking amazing. It really is. Mm-hmm. So I love girls being in that space. I love doing that. Using the magic wand is probably just the easiest, honestly. The other vibrators that we have they work just as well, maybe. So just a vibrator. But I just like the magic wand because I just find it so easy. I don't have to try it. I just put it roughly in the right area because it's so big. You don't have to have it like right on the clit. You just put it there, take it off, put it there, take it off, put it there, take it off. And the orgasms get, or being close to the edge gets closer and closer the more you do it. Like at the start, it might take you 10 minutes to get right to the edge. And then you take it away. When you put it back, it might only take like 30 seconds until she's like, oh, I'm going to come. And then you take it away. And then the next time, it might only take 10 seconds. And eventually you get to a point where you put it back. And then 1 second later, she's like, I'm going to come. And you take it away. And she's like, no, 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 no. You put it back. Okay, I'm going to come. No, 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 no. Like it becomes like really quick by the end. And that's hot as hell. It's like she's right on that edge, just about to fall off the cliff. And all she needs is for you to just like hold it there for more than 1 second. I love that. And then you can be a real asshole and just turn it off and go like, okay, we're done. And she's like, no, wait. And you're like, no, you didn't get an orgasm today. That's fun. But that's also torture, so.
Yeah.
I think that might be illegal under the Geneva Convention. I gotta check with my mate.
Yeah.
I don't know who's the fucking... Who's the head of the UN? Probably some fucking dickhead.
Probably.
Okay. So there you go. There's our top 3 sex techniques. Threesome story from someone in my winners club. Good job. And
what we thought we would like to...
And what we would have told our previous selves.
Mm-hmm.
So if you want to join the winners club, I'll leave a link in the show notes below. What else? I'll leave a link to the article I wrote about the magic wand, like which one I use. And yeah, stay safe, stay happy. Do you want to give a shout out to anyone?
I hate people saying stay safe now. Like it's not well intentioned.
Every cunt says stay safe now, and it feels so ominous, doesn't it? Stay safe means like stay inside, don't live your life, don't do anything. I hope that you just like don't actually go outside and do anything because that has any sort of risk, including.
I mean, it used to be nice when like everyone would be like, "Get home safe," and now it's just like,
no,
don't.
It is ominous as fuck. It's so dystopian, isn't it? It's so Orwellian. Like, stay safe has become this ominous, like, scary.
Shout out to the people that when they say stay safe, they don't mean COVID. They just mean
what's
like
COVID?
get
You can't
home
mention COVID. No, I'm gonna get demonetized. Safe. Not that like any of my shit has money. You get demonetized on YouTube if you say the word COVID or coronavirus.
Do you actually?
Yeah, but I'm not monetized anyway, so all good.
Okay.
I'm gonna give a shout out to my boy Mario. I found him in a rubbish bin. Found him in a trash can in a bin.
Yep.
And shout outs to my boy Radical. Radical, every time I look at Mario's little face, I'm reminded of you. Because you two are one and the same. Because you told me to go dumpster diving, and I've done it for you. He's a beautiful boy.